Here's me reading Spirit School, Chapter 1, Beginnings. School days are the best of your life, they say. This is even more true if you are dead. Lucy was late, as usual. She drank her coffee too quickly, burning her tongue. Then she grabbed the bag bulging with books and half-finished homework and ran out of the front door. She barely had time to kiss her mum goodbye. The sky was overcast and grey and the rain was falling hard. She rushed up the road to the traffic lights with her iPod blasting the latest pop tunes into her ears, but she had no way of hearing the sports car screaming down the street. She looked up at the thundering sky and sighing, she stepped into the road. She felt no pain as the car hit her with a sickening thud. Am I hurt? She thought, as she turned her head to see people running towards her and blood running away from her in an ever increasing puddle. Then everything went black. The school bell rang and the pupils lined up for their lessons. Their uniforms were clean and pressed. Mr. Graves beckoned them in. He had once been a top school athlete, but a painful heart attack had put an end to that dream. He loved to talk about ghosts or the abominable snowman or whatever quirky subject was on his mind, even more so than the subject he was supposed to be teaching, geography. Angel Head School was no ordinary school. It was a school for the afterlife, for people who had passed over. You may wonder why anyone dead would need educating, but even in death there were things to learn. Mr. Graves led the pupils to their lessons. He was over 70 years old with curly grey hair, and he was clean shaven. He wore a black threadbare suit which was flaked with chalk dust or dandruff. It was difficult to tell which. Angel Head School was no ordinary school. Oh. Suddenly, as the pupils were lining up, there was a commotion. A beautiful rainbow appeared in the sky with all of its colours glistening and glowing. There were plenty of oohs and ahs from the other pupils. The rainbow got progressively smaller, and then suddenly a girl stepped out looking bewildered. It was Lucy. Mr. Graves walked towards her and introduced himself. It took quite a while for the pupils to adjust to their new life, as you can imagine. Some of the pupils refused to believe that they were dead until they were shown their own obituaries. That was always a shock to the system, but they soon got used to their new reality and new life. Lucy was taken to the headmaster's office where she noticed the framed photographs of the other teachers through the ages. The headmaster sat behind a big oak table and he leant back in his squeaky leather chair. He was very fat and his stomach burst through his clean white shirt looking like a pregnant man. It peered through his round glasses and down his long nose, and then he spoke. Welcome, Lucy, he said. I hope you're settling in well. And here is the good news. There is an afterlife of sorts, he joked, chuckling. Lucy smiled. She was still finding it hard to adjust as anyone would. Well, the Bible got one thing right, she said. He laughed and then he told Lucy that she could have a few days to settle in before she chose her subjects to study. Lucy asked if she could send a message to her family in some way, but this wasn't allowed because of the alarm it would cause. Mr. Graves explained that if people the world over knew there was an afterlife and different multiple realities, and they would be killing themselves like lemmings, it was better to keep it a secret. There was an impressive array of books in his office, all leather bound and on various topics. History, geography, art, literature, languages, and even the paranormal, and that was only the one she could make out. Then his pretty blonde secretary took her into the class. There were 8 boys and 8 girls, all smartly dressed and looking attentive. Lucy sat next to a punky looking girl who was chewing gum excitedly. Hi, I'm Anna, she said, offering her hand. The teacher was very old and very serious looking. Maths wasn't one of Lucy's strong points, and she wasn't looking forward to studying it for all eternity. After the lesson, they went for coffee in the cafeteria, and Anna told her how she had ended up here. One night, she had been in her bedroom getting ready to go out. Her parents were out, and she was drinking a couple of cans of lager she had got a friend to buy for her. The alcohol began to make her feel woozy. She wasn't used to it. She needed some fresh air. So she sat on the window ledge and listened to her favorite pop music. She was kicking her legs to the beat and feeling as high as a kite. Unfortunately, the window ledge was wet and slippy, and she fell and never got up again. I feel so sorry for my parents, but I was told not to worry, as we would be reunited in time, she said, popping gum. All of the suffering on earth is nothing compared to the joy of eternal life, she added, although it can get a bit boring here, she said with a grin.